She's a monster. By the way, a consummate actress.
What do you think drives her?
What is Serena's endgame? To help me explore this burning question is Max Minghella, aka Nick, former guardian of the Waterford household, and Sam Jaeger, who plays Mark Tuello, Serena's latest nemesis. What is Serena's endgame as you see it now?
As I see it now.
Yes.
I think her endgame is always to end up on top, of any situation.
Right.
So she prides herself, I think, on being the smartest person in any room. And
do you think Mark sees her that way? Because he seems impressed with her to me.
I think he always knew how intelligent she was, how sharp she was.
Right.
But I think this season is where he finally realizes how complex and how removed she is from where she was before Handmaids began.
Right.
In those flashbacks where we get a glimpse of who she was before Gilead.
Sam was talking, I was reminded that when Tuello was first introduced to the show, I was completely convinced that Serena and Tuello would end up falling in love.
Really?
I was pretty excited about that.
Is it because you thought she'd found a sort of, formidable opponent in him, and they kind of had an energy?
They had a really great chemistry in season 3, and they just they sort of look good together.
They do look very good together.
Yeah, and I just Serena sort of seemed, I would say, like she was maybe heading towards some kind of moral revelation, right? Mm-hmm. So it sort of made sense that maybe she would find love. This year, she does sort of turn back a little bit towards the dark side, and I think that's probably to do with the pregnancy, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Do you think Mark can ever trust Serena?
Well, I think that's part of that was initially probably the attraction,
right,
is that they both knew what game they were playing.
Right.
But they both relished that. And then to see this shift this year, this season, and to see how far gone she is a bit jarring for him.
Right.
So I don't know if he can trust her.
Right.
After this.
And he'd be wise to
He'd be wise not to.
How dangerous do you think Serena is now moving forward in whatever shape her future takes? How afraid should everyone around her be of her, and before and after she's given birth, because that's going to be a whole new chapter.
She is going to war with June Osborne.
Right. They seem like really intensely in the early stages of that.
Yeah, and that's an intimidating foe. I know which side I'd bet on. The scene that sort of really stands out to me in this episode is the confrontation between June and Serena, which is
so intense.
I would say arguably the greatest scene of this season.
Even though you weren't in it.
Probably why it's one of the great scenes of this season. I thought it was so powerful, and such a kind of accumulation of so much that's happened between them, and it did feel to me that it sort of cemented something in their dynamic, which is going to be hard to sort of reshape going forward.
Do you think Serena is jealous of June? I've always felt that.
100%.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Aside 100%. From her ability to have given birth in the past, I think she really envies her.
And it feels like Serena wants validation from June. I mean, like anybody we look up to, right? We want acceptance from those people. It's such an astonishing shift in power.
She was very much like June is in this season.
Exactly.
She was the firebrand.
The sort of activist-minded.
Yes.
Right.
And to see that change and to see June taking those reins is really...
Well, and I think part of her maybe even delighted early on where she saw her squelching that part of June. Sort of like, I've had that part of me had to die.
Yeah.
And how do you think Serena will employ whatever power she thinks she has? How do you think she'll continue to use that?
Yeah, I have no idea how she's going to come out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I know she will. That's the danger.
Sam and I were just talking about it in the parking lot, like two fanboys, you know, like, what do you think she's gonna do? Where's she gonna go? We have no idea. That's
Right.
great TV.
Right.
And I can't wait to get to see what happens as a fan. You know, I really do feel that when I watch it.
Something I've thought a lot about this season is whether Serena still loves Fred and what that means to her and what he means to her. But I'm wondering now that she is starting to see him as nothing more than a sperm donor. You know, she never expected that they would be in this situation. And it feels more and more like she's distancing herself from him.
I think she's just trying to protect and create the right environment for her child at this point.
Right.
I think she will do that. I think that's her end game.
This could be the first time in her life where she has total control over one thing, because this baby is growing inside of her. And until this baby is in the world, she is the only thing that's controlling the fate of this child.
Right.
And she seems to be filled with joy about that, at least for now.
Serena joy.
Wow.
you
Serena
could say.
joy. Oh, thank
just-
you. What a great way to end. Thank you both so much for being here. It's been such a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so what do you think Serena's up to? Post your thoughts using the hashtag #OneBurningQuestion. And thank you so much for watching.